Let's talk about swimming pools now, leisure centres and gyms. Well, some of them could be at risk of closure if the UK government doesn't review its energy bills discount scheme. That is according to UK Active, a fitness industry trade body, following the announcement that from April, energy support for businesses would be scaled back to focus on heavy energy using sectors like manufacturers. Hugh Edwards is the CEO of UK Active and joins us now. Afternoon, Hugh.
Afternoon to you.
So we had this announcement yesterday about which sectors would carry on getting help, and yours wasn't one of them. So that must have been pretty disappointing.
Yeah, we've undertaken a bit of analysis following the government announcement last night with our members to really ascertain what the impact is. And you're right. I mean, the reality is that, my members who are primarily gyms, pools and leisure centres will struggle to continue going as things are right now with the energy crisis. That will lead to restrictions of services, closures and job losses. And the problem with the scheme as it currently is set up is probably twofold. Firstly, a number of my members have got energy costs which have exceeded 300% increase since 2019. And the discount which is being proposed by the government won't really touch the sides in terms of the support. And the second part is that actually the credit to government for the idea of having a two-tier system where you have intensive energy users getting a higher discount. But the reality is, as you said at the start, swimming pools are not included into that. That is a significant oversight, given the level of evidence that the government has on the energy usage that swimming pools require.
Now, I know you already projected that 40% of council areas are at risk of losing their leisure centres or seeing reduced services at leisure centres. Is it really that bad?
It is, and we are capturing those projections which were made last year are being matched by the reality. We are regrettably capturing closures, restrictions, threats of closures across the country almost on a daily basis. And there are significant implications for the communities across the country if facilities which people, irrespective of age and irrespective of background, depend on for their physical and mental well-being, are going to lose them over the next year unless there is a significant change in the direction of travel of the government policy.
Is there no mandating or ring fencing of funds given from central government to local authorities, to provide these services that protect them in any way?
I think it's a good question. I think it's technically public sector leisure is a non-statutory service. However, if you look at the in tray of the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak right now, he has three things in there which are hugely important: a mental health crisis in adults and young people, a growth of 2.5 million people who are of working age, who are economically inactive, and the operational pressures on the NHS, waiting lists. These are things that my members can have a positive impact on if they're put to work in those areas. So while there isn't a direct funding, there is an envelope of money which could actually be utilised, and actually we could bring the costs down in many of those areas if we're put to work in the right way, locally and at national policy level as well.
I mean, we had Steve Barclay, didn't we, the health secretary, at the start of the year talking about many things at the moment, but one of the things he brought up was, the emphasis the government has on getting people active, because that will help. In the longer term, it will help with the crisis the NHS is going through. If you have, if you focus on the health in the National Health Service, that's such a key part of helping with the crisis that is currently going on in hospitals. So what would you say to him? What would you say to government about, what you need to keep these facilities open to sort of help with that pledge?
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I think the government said on Sunday, following the publication of the Public Accounts Committee report, that the health and fitness of the nation is now a priority. Hallelujah. We would fully support that. For that to become a reality, you need to see two things in the next few days and weeks. Firstly, the classification of swimming pools in this challenge should be part of that intensive list, which was announced last night, intensive energy list, which was announced last night, and then get round the table with my members, both public and private operators, and put them to work, because we can get more people, millions more people active in this country if we're given the tools to do so. So the government can work with us on wider areas of regulatory and taxation, which can actually transform physical activity levels in this country if there is a political will to do so. We need to get through the turbulence of the energy crisis right now, of course, and the government needs to do more on that. But then it has a real opportunity to transform physical activity levels, take the pressure off the NHS, drive economic growth, and improve the overall health of the nation.
Great to talk to you, Hugh. Thank you so much. Hugh Edwards there, CEO of UK Active. If you've noticed the sort of a curtailing of opening hours or leisure facilities near you, the ones that you used to use or the times that you used to use them being cut back because of what's going on with the cost of energy, do let us know. 85058, 5:45.